Wilson, both out of the back of the boat in Team Taboo. There's the rescue helicopter. Pilot Dave Clark aboard that Angel helicopter right there. Dave Clark flew for us in 1984. Been flying on and off a freeze frame for many, many years. Always does a great job. Just glad to see both the guys out of Team Taboo swimming around. They took a hard hit and took a big flight out of the boat in their 42-foot Fountain. There you can see another rescue boat, Wild Thing. It's a 37 Outer Limits, stopping to assist in any way they can. Guys took quite a hit heading out of the boat there, and they both look to be moving around, but it's always rough and bumpy in Key West here. Slow motion footage going around the corner. You can see the boat takes a hard hook. Both guys left with nothing to do but go out. Pretty amazing footage from another one of Freeze Frame's onboard camera, one of many here in Key West, capturing all the exciting race coverage. Pretty amazing. You could see it looks like it takes one big jump there and the boat really turns a lot in the air. Maybe they had a problem, mechanical problem in the boat, but both guys look to be all right. Climbing back aboard the boat. Craig Wilson and Bill Mazzoni aboard Taboo, 42-foot Fountain. Here comes the rescue driver swimming up to the back of the boat to check on Bill Mazzoni and Craig Wilson. Pretty dramatic. They took a pretty rough ride there. That looks like quite a lineup of boats. Lucas Oil there making their return. You can see them in the middle of the screen there. FountainMercury.com. Lake Cumberland here. Roger Osley and David Knight in the middle of the screen. Heading out towards Turn 1 here in Key West. The start of Saturday's second race. Super V class here. There's Greg Reichman and Mike Gordon aboard the RMS Offshore Racing number 2 entry in the Super V class. Right now, focusing in on Fountain Mercury, VL15, David Knight and Roger Osley at the helm. On board Mikasuki Indian Gaming now with Brett Hirschman at the wheel and Gary Ballou on the throttles. These guys finished a disappointing 11th place in the first race after leading early in that race. On board Instigator Fountain Mercury here, you can see Mikasuki taking the early lead there right at the start of the race. Joe Scrow and Peter Meyer here aboard Instigator. There's Roger Knight and David Osley right to the right there in the Fountain Mercury boat. This is on board Instigator, the brand new 42-foot Fountain. Took 4th in their inaugural voyage in their new boat on the first day of racing. Trying to run well here the second day to put together a good 3-day total score for the Key West World Championships. These guys just finished this boat. Their crew chief, Jerry Haney, did an amazing job to get the boat done and here to Key West. Another strong running fountain here, Fountain Mercury. David Knight and Roger Osley aboard. Quite a competitive boat. You can see Spider-Man, Adrenaline, Fury, Pier 57, Lucas Oil. Amazing Super V fleet. Like I said, 16 boats. But out front right now, Mikasuki Indian Gaming with Brett Bershman at the wheel. Gary Ballou on the throttles. 38-foot fountain with Mercury 525 power at the point in the lead, heading to turn 1 in Key West. Pretty commanding lead right at the start by Brett Bershman and Gary Ballou. But a long race ahead and a lot of competitors trying to chase him down. See Lucas Oil running very hot into the first turn to take the early on lead there. Adrenaline way out of control coming into the first turn. Fury all the way on the outside. Pretty amazing to see all those boats round that corner and head into the bumpy waters running from 1 to 2 in Key West. There's Lightning Strikes with Mike Flanagan and Bob Teague aboard, another 38-foot Donsley. Pretty amazing footage here in the rough water leg off of from 1 to 2 in Key West here. Adrenaline right up there in the pack. You see Lucas Oil, Spider-Man, Fountain Mercury, Mikasuki, Fury, all these boats running at the front of this 16-boat pack in Super V class. Skater and a Fountain side by side, both identical, Mercury 525 power, as well as Mikasuki Indian Gaming with the 525 Mercury power. All these boats hanging it out, looking to be the first boat to come back into the harbor in Key West for all the fans to see. Rounding corner number 2, tight racing here. Mikasuki kind of fading out a little bit, pushing the boats a little bit wide. Heads into the harbor, three-way battle, side by side. Mikasuki Indian Gaming, Fountain Mercury, and Spider-Man. 2 fountains and a skater doing battle here in Key West. Fountain Mercury pulling with a slight advantage right now. Spider-Man side by side with them. Mikasuki just back a little bit. Big stand-up hook there by Mikasuki. Gary Ballou and Brett Bershman a little bit out of control there. Spider-Man pulling to the front of the pack right now. Going to be side by side for the first lap between Spider-Man and Fountain Mercury. Spider-Man finished a very disappointing 12th on the first day. FountainRacing.com finished 16th after braking on the first lap. So both these boats way back in the point, but Spider-Man's at the point right now, taking the lead heading into Key West Harbor. Fountain Mercury's in second. Right through the driving. Moving on now to Pier 57. It's a 42-foot fountain with twin Mercury 525 motors with Mercruiser drives and motors. Pier 57 Boat Sales from Kansas, Tennessee is the owner. David Woods is the throttle man with Wyatt Fountain at the wheel today. This is the slower of their 2 boats. They also have a Super V Unlimited boat, but they chose to run with the big class here, 16 boats in the fleet. These guys finished 5th place on Wednesday, which was a pretty good finish considering there were 16 boats. Currently running a little further back right now, trying to move up in the fleet. Pier 57 in the Super V class. Very competitive racing here in the bumpy waters off of Key West, Florida at the 2004 Combined World Championships. We have all the OSS, Superboat International, and APDA boats here competing today to vie for the true World Championship title. With 16 boats in this class, it's tough to catch up to all of them, to cover everybody, give everybody a lot of coverage. Look at this footage here. Coming into turn 2 here. Fury's on the inside. Whoa, 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 whoa! Getting a little bump there to Mikasuki, trying to push him along. Fury riding up the back of Mikasuki as they're going around the corner. Somebody didn't see somebody coming, or somebody's going in the corner a little hot. Both boats still running strong there after a little bump from Fury onto the back of Mikasuki Indian Gaming. Ray Delaney and Steve Delaney aboard Fury, kind of pushing them right along there. Mikasuki keeping going without any problem at all. They took quite a jump earlier on in the race. Pretty amazing footage, but when you get 16 boats on the same course at the same time, there's bound to be little mishaps like that. Looking down on number 96, this is the Rodriguez Group Fountain, owned by Michael Carcenti out of Cannes, France, who also is your throttle man. Sergei Allegre out of Rogan, France, is your driver. These guys are the world speed record holder in APBA UIM for this class. Rodriguez Group Fountain running very strong here early on in the second day of racing. On the first day, these guys finished first, so they're sitting really well to do well here in Key West. Rodriguez Group Fountain just churning along here, running with the rest of the pack. Very competitive racing, 16 boats in the Super V class, so very key to finish well all 3 days. On the outside, you can see lightning strikes just ahead of the Rodriguez Group Fountain. Heading into turn 1. To the rough section off of Key West. It's a three-way battle here in Super V class. This is the new 42-foot Fountain Instigator Fountain Mercury. Joe Scrow and Peter Meyer aboard. This boat's running across the tops of the big water here in the rough section very well here. Just rigged. Jerry Haney did an excellent job getting this boat done to make it to Key West. Just barely made it, but these guys are here to run. Just on the inside of them, the number 11 Pier 57 Skater Fountain V-bottom, Bill McComb and Billy Glick aboard. Lisa Matthews sitting out this race, letting Billy Glick take over the driving duties. This is a Vortec-powered Skater V-bottom with Mercury number 5 drives. Heating up this rough water, running very well. Bill McComb on the throttle, Bill Glick at the wheel. Some of the sponsors for this boat include Matthews Curry Ford, Glick Automotive, and Accurate Marine. Accurate Marine does an outstanding job keeping this boat together. Going around turn 2, getting ready to head into Key West Harbor. This is number 11. Pier 57. They finished 8th place halfway through the fleet in the first race on Wednesday. Running well early on here on Saturday, Pier 57 from Sarasota, Florida. Coming down on 22 now, Instigator Fountain Mercury. Joe Scrow at the wheel, Peter Meyer on the throttle. Special thanks to Joe DeMola and Jerry Haney for getting the boat done and here this week and taking care of all the work on it. Some of the sponsors aboard include Student Bus Services, DeMola Racing Stables, JTG Scaffolding, Approved Oil Company, a lot of people going to help and make an Instigator run well. These guys just got this boat running pretty well for the first time in the water. Instigator Motorsports finished 4th place on the first day of racing. Looking to move up a little bit, try to bring home another world championship to these two guys who've won several world championships here in Key West. Can't tell quite who this boat is, who's in front, all the way closest to us right now. You can see Lightning Strikes out there in front, one of the Pier 57 boats. Spider-Man on the far outside, Lucas Oil right in the middle, along with Muscle. Great start, heading out towards turn 1. Oh, it's Mikasuki Indian Gaming, another Fountain, heading out towards the lead. Brett Bershman and Gary Ballou aboard Mikasuki Indian Gaming, leading again towards the first turn, as they have all 3 days led at one point or another, all 3 races. Rodriguez Group with a commanding run going here. They've got a 1st and a 7th place finish so far up until now, so they're in good position to do well overall in the World Championships. Pulling ahead of Mikasuki Indian Gaming now. Just on the outside of them is Instigator Fountain Mercury, Pier 57, and Spider-Man on the far outside. Very good battle going towards turn 1 here. Looks like it's laid down a little bit from our earlier races today. These guys running all out towards turn 1 at Key West. The number 96 is the Rodriguez Group. Serge Allegre and Michael Carcente aboard this boat. Both of these guys are from France, but always do a great job racing here in the States. Currently leading in the Super V class here Sunday at Key West, the World Championships. Looking back just a little bit, you see FountainRacing.com side by side with Pier 57 Racing. Tails there, but getting to the outside to run through the outside leg from 1 to 2 here in Key West, chopping up quite a bit here. David Woods and Wyatt Fountain aboard Pier 57. The 42-foot Fountain with Mercury 525 engines with Mercury drive. Earlier on in the week, they took a 5th on Wednesday and a 12th on Saturday. Running strong here early on today at the 2004 Key West World Championships. To Instigator Fountain Mercury, the new 42-foot Fountain, running strong here in stages of the 2004 World Championships. Joe Scrow at the wheel, Peter Meyer on the throttle, moving right along here in Key West. Coming down now on the number 11 Super V entry. This is Bill McComb on the throttles with Bill Glick at the wheel. Normally Lisa Matthews is the driver. She's a little under the weather, so Billy Glick stepped up and is driving today for Pier 57. The 39-foot Fountain Skater V-bottom with Vortec engines and Mercury number 5 drive. Number 11 is sponsored by Accurate Marine, Matthews Ferry Ford, and Glick's Automotive. Special thanks to Russ, Jason, and the rest of the crew that helped make this